Hi guys, it's Mother Goose here. So today I want to do a video on spiritual bypassing, spiritual escaping. Dr. Gabor Mate quoted someone else, I don't remember, but it was called spiritual bypassing. So this message is, there are people in this world that take religion and they camouflage their negative, destructive, hurtful behavior behind religious practices. So they take the dysfunctional, unhealthy behavior, they cover it up with what looks like religious practices, and in front of people's eyes look like religious practices. But in reality, they are escaping the true pain that they are having. So the examples, so what happens is, let's say someone who has severe anxiety disorder, that it's even like obsessive compulsive disorder, excessive washing, excessive checking, excessive hand washing, then what do they go around saying? I am just mahmir. I'm just more strict and I want to make sure. But whereas this is their anxiety disorder being hidden behind that. Or they struggle with severe depression or schizoid personality disorder, which are people who like to be kept to themselves alone at home and don't want to come out, or people with agoraphobia. They don't like to be around other people, elevator, escalators, big settings. And what do they tell you? Marat ayn. I want to be careful with my eyes. So they translate the anxiety that they're struggling with and they hide behind this religious practice. You have people with emotional detachment, emotional trauma. You have people that have gone through childhood trauma and they have implicit memory of it, but not explicit. They don't know where it's coming from, but they're going to enormous rage and anger, and they have a hard time connecting with people. And you see them getting married, and when it comes to the laws of Taharat HaMishpacha, that every night they go and they learn. For 2 weeks, they're out of the house, right? The wife is like, why can't we talk? Why can't we go for a walk? It says we can't touch, but there's nothing wrong with talking. But because they have so much trauma, they have so much disconnect, they have so much anxiety, they have so much separation of their access to their emotional state and feeling. Again, they utilize religion and they cop out behind it instead of dealing with the relationship issues. So if that person wants to learn, go learn, but don't ever forget to make time for your wife, to make time for your children. You are escaping your emotional life. Don't blame it on religion. If you have a hard time with your emotional connection with your spouse, do not blame it on religion. We have to understand that there are psychological, mental issues out there that are being covered up with fanaticism, with excessive religious practices. Families are falling apart. You see people that have bipolar disorder, and they go from one extreme to another extreme within 2-3 days. They go from not doing much to doing that, and you see all these things around us, but because it's so hidden behind the religion, you're not paying attention to it. Anything that happens in this extreme in a quick way, you gotta pay attention to it. You have to see where the source comes from. If the family have, some practice less, some practice more, and one has nothing to do with each other because of religion, guess what? There's probably some emotional dysfunction happening in that family. If a family is a healthy family, if they have peace, if they have harmony, if they have love, the connection and the differences will not be mutually exclusive. You could have connection with a healthy separation. If a child every Shabbat wants to be out of the house, every Shabbat is at Shiurim, doesn't want to be home, I want to know what's going on in their home, what's going on their Shabbat table. People need to realize that living a Yirat Shamayim life, living a life of Ahavat Israel and love of Torah starts from the home, starts from the self. If you don't have peace within you, if you don't have emunah, if you don't have love, if you don't have affection, if you don't have a sense of belonging, then what are you giving to the universe? What are you giving to God? You could textually, academically know all the Torah, unless there is a connection with the emotion and from the heart, you're not practicing it Lashem Shamayim the way it's supposed to be. So we need to slow down and check ourselves, slow down and pay attention to ourselves, slow down and wonder, why am I doing what am I doing? Am I doing it as a spiritual bypass to escape my emotional pain? And or am I really doing it to become a better human being to myself, to God, and the people that live around me? In my opinion, in my humble opinion, a true Yid, a person who's truly connected to God and HaKadosh Baruch Hu, has a good relationship with themselves and the most intimate people around them. They don't bring pain, they don't bring sorrow, they don't bring hardship. There is love and affection. To me, that is a true Ben Torah, a person who lives it and acts it, doesn't just look it. Judaism touches us much more than just being a camouflage appearance. A person that lives their life Lashem Shamaim, they do it from the beginning to the end, behind closed door, when there's no one there, and when there is people there, because they're doing it Lashem Shamaim. True godliness is when I have love inside of me, love for myself, love for God, and love for you, because this world was created with love and affection from God. And that's what we want to do, to radiate the light and the godliness into the universe. Thank you for listening. This is Natalie Zangan, also known as Mother Goose. If you're practicing whatever religion it is, if you're doing it the right way, the radiation of love and affection will shine from you.